Officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle stopped on the road facing the wrong side, forcing the motor
Going the wrong way down the street.
stopped on going the wrong way, yes. Forcing multiple motor vehicles to drive around the defendant. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle to be on with the defendant sitting in the driver's seat, appeared to be sleeping or passed out. The motor vehicle was in drive with the defendant's foot on the brake. The officer observed an open container of Bacardi rum, a 750 milliliter bottle, approximately 10% full, sitting in the front right passenger seat. The officer attempted to wake the defendant unsuccessfully, which led to the officers being forced to break the defendant's front right window to get into the motor vehicle due to the doors being locked. The officer placed the motor vehicle in the park, and the defendant was asked to step out, and he immediately fell to the ground. The officer observed slurred speech, red bloodshot eyes, a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and poor balance. The defendant refused SFSTs. The defendant advised that he had not consumed any alcohol beverages and wished to speak to ask for his lawyer, and was loudly repeating no comment to all questions. The defendant was read the DIC, and he refused breath, and a blood warrant was signed. The defendant was transported to HCA Southeast ER to obtain the blood, and the defendant
I think I'm good.
Your Honor, this gets into the resisting.
Oh, okay.
Which I understand if you
That's okay.
but it is. So the officer the defendant refused to exit the vehicle, even though the officer was asked to multiple times. The officer had to physically guide the defendant out. The defendant stopped walking while walking to the emergency room with the officer, and advised that he wanted to go to the VA hospital. The officer advised the defendant that he had a search warrant, and the defendant refused to move. The officer grabbed the defendant's upper arm and again advised the defendant of the search warrant, and again he refused to move. The officer then advised the defendant that if he had to pull him inside, that he'd face additional charges. Again, the defendant refused to move. The defendant advised he wanted to go to the VA hospital and tried pulling away into the direction to the entrance of the hospital. The defendant went dead weight and laid on the ground outside and refused to move and screaming at the top of his lungs, "Someone help me." The officers had to be assisted by hospital security and placing the defendant into a wheelchair and transport him to the hospital, and blood was drawn with the assistance of 3 officers holding the defendant down.
Mr. Mallard, do you watch the news?
Yes, sir.
How many people died this weekend due to an alcohol-related collision?
The one that comes to mind, sir, is the softball team. Her mom, her dad is in critical condition right now. That's the latest one that I did see, sir.
There were at least 3, if not 4, different accidents this weekend where people died. There was in Galveston an entire family that was cut down because of an alcohol-related collision of a person who had allegedly just completed a DWI intervention course here, and a couple months later goes out and then decimates an entire family. In this here now, you pled to a DWI not 3 months ago with above a 0.15. Now you hear on another one, there's alcohol allegedly in the car, the wrong way on the street, completely passed out to where. There is a reason why I do things in life. I don't do it just for shites and giggles. I want to protect my community at all cost. And I think that it is an appropriate condition to not have you near the car. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All I care about in this short life is protecting my community. And I'm going to try to do it at all costs. I understand that it may be a hardship to you, but sometimes in life, things are learned when they're faced with difficulty. And now I do not want you out in the middle of the night, and I don't want you near a car. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Perhaps in some time, because I'm not an a-hole. I try not to be, right? But it's been 2 weeks since you've picked up this DWI. I shudder to think, do you have the blood back yet?
No, I did not have to get back yet.
Before anything, even remotely getting near, I want to see some proactivity on your part.
Yes, sir.
But you coming up here and saying, woe is me, goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. I care about my community. That's what I care about. That's what matters most to me. And I'm going to protect it at all costs. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So I am willing to work with you on the hours if you need hours to work, but I don't want you out in the middle of the night. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Yanni.
Please.
And just to let you know, he has started attending AA meetings. He's been attending for the past couple of weeks every night, virtually. One of the facilities that offer the AA meetings, they do offer it, is it at 10?
It's at 9:30.
At 9:30. But his curfew would need to be extended a little bit more, that too.
You can do it at all times during the day. You can do it remotely. You can do it via Zoom. You can do it online. I don't want you out at night. It's not going to happen. Because then if I let you out at 9:30 at night, well, I need an hour to get back home. And then now it goes to 10:30. I'm not going to do it. Their AA meetings are literally all day, every day. You just have to find it. You have to be creative. That's why we have computers. That's why we have the internets to be able to help you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Thank you, Yanni.
Let's roll, nerds. Oh yeah, let's roll, nerds. Yeah, let's roll, nerds.